Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Hi everyone, Daphne Lage here. Join Nita Lanning and me on the Ragin' to the Vlogs show, where we talk about everything, nothing, and all the bits in between. Looking for hour-long conversations about indie comics, social media marketing, and crowdfunding, with the occasional rant and story time? Head on over to the Ragin' 2 channel on YouTube, Mondays through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern to join in the chat.
Hit the button.
And if we're not your favorite podcast yet, don't worry, we're working on it. We will get there one day. You just keep coming back, and we'll grow on you. We're like a mold or a fungus that way. Hello, everybody. I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com, Chief Envelope Licker for Critical Blast Logistics, Myopic Proofreader for Critical Blast Publishing, and I answer the phones for Critical Blast Consulting. And I guess this is Critical Blast Podcasting. We haven't made the logo for that one yet. We should. Just you know, you get a logo and you get a logo and you get a logo. We're just gonna go logo crazy. Tonight, though, we are going to delve into the podcasting aspect of the business. We are going to be talking more about crowdfunded comics, with our emphasis tonight being over at Kickstarter. So if you want to follow along, the little bouncing ball is the link below the video and pinned to the top of the chat. We're going to be talking GODSLAYERS, and we have Gage with us tonight. Gage, welcome, sir. Your thing says Gage. Your Kickstarter says Nathan.
So I'm Nathan Johns, but my Facebook is Gage the Wolf. My Twitter is Gage the Wolf. So
you like the wolf?
I do.
I'm going to have to hook you up with my friend Fizz Giggity. She's a bit of a wolf too.
Yeah.
In her online personas. So how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing okay. I'm a little
I'm
a little warm. Like I said, I got my shot today, and so I'm a little warm.
Yeah, well, you got that thick hoodie on while you're inside, man. You're gonna be burning up.
I'm gonna need it on though. I'm getting cold when I'm not wearing it. It's been an interesting day.
Yeah, you've intentionally given yourself the flu for a little while here, so we'll just hold on the best you can, man. So have you created a comic book before, or is GODSLAYERS your very first attempt at it?
So this is my first endeavor into indie comic book creation at all, and I kind of dove in head first. So I had a great artist that I worked with doing RPG group shots, and I loved his work, and I finally just talked to him about the idea of doing a comic book, got a page rate, and in September we started drawing. So
now, you had told me before the show that you've done a lot of game mastering, which is adventure writing in its own way, because you have to you can't just sit down and say, hey, let's go kill some skeletons and start throwing dice. You know, you got to have a path and a story to tell the players, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm prolific when it comes to writing, though. I write a ton constantly, so that's never really been an issue for me. But I have a game that runs every Sunday for 6 to 8 hours and has for years. We used to run for 10 hours. I had to tell him, no, I work early on Monday, man. Let me go to sleep.
Well, you know, if you're going to roll for initiative, that would definitely be the time to do it. Do I play another 2 hours? Do I go to bed? And thank you, the Written Writ, for showing up tonight. We appreciate it. Frog G in the house. Hail, Mr. Frog. Glad that you're here. Yeah, I mean, if you could just get the transcripts of every 10-hour session, you'd be out doing Robert Jordan by now.
That might be true. I've been doing that. I've been doing game mastering since I was 14. We had a game that ran 10 years straight. All kinds of different characters, storylines throughout this world, and I finally was just like, I want to play something new. Like, this is the end.
I was going to say, you have to reach the end, Mr. George R. R. Martin. Come on. 10 years and not finish the thing.
The players just love the game, so that's what I kept doing.
All right. Well, somewhere you decided, you are going to turn this into a comic book instead of a novel, and you came up with this idea for GODSLAYERS. So that is kind of, now that you've given me your RPG background, this does kind of sound like a quest, because that's what happens. You get your archer and your wizard and your thief together, and you go out and, oh my God, these things are a lot bigger than we thought they were. Do we have enough charisma and stamina and strength to pull this off? Is it that kind of a book, or because she looks a little futuristic in the dress?
No, so Bella's my homage to Sailor Moon. Like, if you get a good look at her outfit, that she looks like Sailor Moon with some armor. That was my first anime, really. Akira, and I had seen some other stuff like the Seven Cities of Gold way back on Nickelodeon forever ago. That's some old school stuff, Speed Racer. But like Sailor Moon was the first long-term anime I super got into, Dragon Ball. But this GODSLAYERS was originally written as an anime script, and I actually converted it to a comic book.
Okay, so it's it could have been a manga.
Yeah.
I'm definitely loving the art here. Now, I've seen two different styles of art. Is this the interior artist, or is this a special cover artist?
That is Greg Bo Watson's variant cover, and it's colored by I'm going to butcher her name. I'm so sorry. Gwenaëlle Delagalt. We call her Gwen.
Yeah, I would too. So you start off with a text wall here, which, by the way, I've been told is like the absolute worst way to start off your Kickstarter.
Is that true?
Yeah, well, who knows? We're learning it every time we do a new one.
I'm a writer, so if that's the worst, I don't know how people sell books, because that's all text. So, and I just needed an intro, and I liked that. So,
I hear that the way they like to see it start off is your main cover. Boom, sell us on the art. Even though this is an alternate cover right up here, this doesn't count because this is usually a video tab anyway. But this is the introduction to Waking the GODSLAYER. Now this is a wall of text. Is this from the book, or is this your back cover description of what we're going to find inside?
So that's just my Kickstarter description of what you're going to find. That's the basis, the overall arc of the story.
Okay. So without reading this verbatim to everybody watching, what's the crux, the thrust, the gist of GODSLAYERS?
It's just a group of heroes who are on a mission to resurrect a fallen enemy, whose soul seeks redemption in the hopes that he will help them to defeat a demon he's responsible for releasing on the world.
Okay, so I heard you say they have to resurrect an enemy. This never works out well. because it's always, well, the only one who can kill this demon is that guy we got rid of. And he's always going to turn on you as soon as he's done the thing that you brought him back for.
I'm not going to tell you if he turns on him.
Well, I hope not, because, well, this is a fantasy world. I sometimes, when I talk about resurrected characters, especially bad guys, one of the things I always go back to is Jeff Johns' Green Lantern story, Brightest Day. I don't know if you are a big comic reader. It was a DC Comics event, Green Lantern. They got all the different colors involved of the different rings. And at the end of it, the White Lantern, which was like the power of life, resurrected what is it, a dozen characters. They were only allowed to resurrect 12, 6 heroes and 6 villains. And it was like they were all poof right there in one place where all the rest of the heroes were. And I was like, this is DC Comics, where we have Etrigan the demon and Swamp Thing, who has been to hell. So it's a place, it's a thing, you know. And we've been to heaven with Zoriel from the Justice League and the Phantom Stranger and the Spectre. So, you know, so there's God and there's hell. And the 6 villains, the first thing they do is start attacking the heroes. I'm like, why? You ostensibly, if you're a villain, you just got out of the place you really don't want to be. So you're making sure that you go back. I don't know what your world setup is. You know, maybe, you know, dead is dead. And, you know, you come back and you're like, oh, I got a little bit more time to do something else now. But see, I'm trying to trick you into telling me that the bad guy is going to continue to be a bad guy when you bring him back.
So resurrection's mostly unheard of in the world. Like, the fact that it happens here is a big deal. And there's a lot more to it than that. Like, they're necromancers, but that's not the same as resurrection. That's raising the dead, you know? Yeah. But the main character is actually a necromancer. Dustin Spellbinder, you'll learn, is a necromancer who's there too. But resurrection's a whole different animal. And I tell that story in the book pretty big time. So,
oh yeah,
not in the first one, but it's coming. I've got episode 2 in work right now. So
necromancer is the animation of the dead body, and you know, resurrection is, you know, it's alive again. It's standalone, self-sustaining, alive. And yeah, that is rare. I mean, you know, in all of human history, we apparently had one of them, and nobody's stopped talking about it for 2,000 years now. So yeah, it's a big thing when it happens.
Well, in this world too, the gods, there were 9 gods, and only one of them is left.
Ooh.
Yeah, the GODSLAYER actually rose up and killed 8 of the 9 gods that existed before he himself was killed. So
okay, so I was going to say the ninth god then is perhaps the one saying, "Hey, I could use some protection racket here. Go out and do some killing and resurrecting for me here." So this is a page. This is page 1, I'm guessing.
Yep, I have the first 5-page preview up there, and those are page 2 and 3 have had final edits done to them since it was posted.
Okay,
but they're just to give people an idea what the comic looks like.
Yeah, it looks very much like animation cells. I could see this being an animated story. Which, you know, doesn't surprise me. You said you set it up initially as an anime. And
Mario A. Barraza, who did the art, I love it. Like, through the whole thing, I love what he did with this book. So,
yeah. Intense Webs, welcome. Glad you're here. Glad you could all pull yourselves away from the rose and the gray, battling it out under the umbrella. So who are we looking at here? This is you've said her name before. She's in the armor. She's the Sailor Moon analog, Bella, which of course means beauty. So naturally, she's going to be, you know, hot chick.
The next one, the girl in the center frame on the bottom there, is Akara.
Wait a second, I'm missing.
Right below your cursor, that's Akara.
Oh, that's a girl. Okay.
Yep.
I could not tell yet. I just saw a white figure. So I thought that this character might have still been this character, just gotten up.
Nope, the second character is Dust, but that one's Akara. She's a Nezumi. Her father is full-blooded Nezumi, but she's a half-breed, human and Nezumi, which is like a rat person.
Thank you. I had no idea what that was. Is that Japanese?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Nezumi means rat or mouse.
Okay. And then this, is this your Spellbinder character?
That's Dustin Spellbinder. That's Dust.
Okay. And he's now Bino.
He's pale, for sure. I don't know that he's an albino because his eyes aren't pink, but he's definitely a pale dude. He's the necromancer.
Okay, so what is it that, you know, what are they doing here when we first see them? Because the 3 of them are running from flying, bitey creatures.
They're running from Black Knights. And that's what they're called. They're just called Black Knights. But
Okay.
they're attempting to break into the tomb of the Godslayer.
Oh, so you just get right into the whole resurrection action here. There's no, let's fight our way there. Let's get the call to action. You're like, boom, we're on the spot.
There's more to it than that as you get deeper into the book. So, because I do some storytelling while they're doing some work on the resurrection, because it's not just as simple as boom, it's a spell. It's a ritual. So.
Okay. So you kind of go back and say, how did we get here kind of thing. So have they always been, well, of course they haven't always been a team, but do they know each other well at this point? I mean, were they called together or did they already exist as a team?
So Akara and Dust are best friends. Jericho and Bella are joining Dust and Akara on their first mission. But Bella is head over in love with Dust.
Okay. So they do kind of sort of know each other tangentially or more, or want to know each other more than that. Niobe, welcome to the chat, my friend. I am going to be doing something different this Saturday. I am going to try to do I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to read comics online for a while, and one of them is going to be this little baby right here. So we will. Of course, I don't know where in the stack it will be because I'm going to sit down and read a bunch of crowdfunded comics. And I'll probably not read all of the book because the last thing I need is a channel strike because, oh, look, you're going to pirate the book by, having a crappy YouTube cam copy of it here. But yeah, we'll be looking at Ego Raven, Great Cyclopean, starring Sonia Devereaux, which I can't believe I haven't read that one yet, but this is the way I'm forcing myself to go through my read pile. Painkiller Jane from Jimmy Palmiotti, Zadar the Savage, and of course, Niobe Origins. So tune in for that. It did arrive in good shape, very good shape, and I've got the sticker already on the corner of my table. One of the Chibi stickers has joined the sticker family. So thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. You won't strike me. Okay, well, fortunately, I have no Liam Gray books over here because nobody gets the joke except the people who've been here for a long time. Wow, this is definitely heavily Japanese influenced. Is this Earth, or is this a fantasy world that's just influenced by the writers?
They're actually on a world called Athenea.
Okay.
And much of the world is in serious trouble because of the demon that was released when the Godslayer was slain.
Yeah, so how did the demon get released by slaying the Godslayer? Was that like a backup insurance plan? It's like, hey, if you kill me, I got a bigger problem for you to worry about. Oh man, that's episode 2 storyline, man. But like
what's up, Naomi?
Oh God! If you know that joke, then you've seen the cover for a high school girl in the Crusades. Yes, okay, and that's what the fight's about, apparently.
So at the time when the Godslayer was a threat to the world, his destruction led to the release of the demon. I really don't want to get too deep into it because that's breaking into episode 2 territory, and it's telling a lot of characters' backstories. Like, you'll find out that Jericho's really tied to the Godslayer. When he finds out that they're to resurrect him, he's not happy.
Now Jericho, he's the big guy here?
He's the big guy with the metal arm.
Okay. So how does the metal arm work? It's a magic ruled world, right? So is it a magic metal arm?
It's a magical prosthetic. and he lost his arm in the final battle with the GODSLAYERS. So, man, I want to tell you everything. As a writer, I do want to just open. I do just want to open up and tell you everything. So, I mean, he lost his personal arm, and now he's got the metal one because of that battle. So,
it was like he didn't lose it; he knows where it is. He just can't use it anymore.
It's not attached to him, so
yeah, not as much as he was attached to it. I'll stop. So let's look at the tiers we got here. For $5, you get the PDF of this. That means that, an email attachment, not just, hey, you have the right to go through a website and read this somewhere. Some people do that. Some people don't like that.
Nope, I'm going to send them the PDF.
Okay. So you can carry it around on any device you want. The Akara tier is $15, which is a very, very nice price. And for that, you're going to get the main cover, which, have we seen the main cover? Here we go. I'll just read it on the left side because that's got bigger pictures. So this is the main cover done by Mario Barraza, which is your interior artist. So what you see here is what you're going to see inside. Yep.
And this cover is laid out by me and drawn by Mario A. Barraza. So
I love the sword. I'm seeing more and more of these giant swords, and I guess the sword is important because it's incorporated into the logo.
Yeah, they're there. So in the first book, like most of them think that they're there to get the sword, and when they find out that that's not what they're there for, an argument ensues.
And since we haven't been introduced to the mummy here, I'm going to take a wild guess that this is the resurrected GODSLAYER.
Yeah. And so he is a kitsune, which is an anthropomorphic fox, like a human fox, who was corrupted by being possessed by a demon.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah.
So his body's gone, demon's gone. He's resurrected. He's maybe not so evil now because he's not got. You never mind. You don't have to read this anymore, folks. The story's out. we have tricked the writer into revealing it all. But it's really cool though. I do like this sword. It reminds me a lot of David J. Peterson's sword in his Angst series, which was this ridiculously huge thing. In fact, it was so big that people thought it was a statue because it was like, sword in the stone kind of thing in the throne room. And it wasn't until Angst, the main character, his name is Angst. He's 40 years old, always wanted to be an adventurer. Didn't get the call till he was in his 40s. Like, my back hurts, my hair's gray, I want to sleep. But no, now I get to be the hero. And it's just, some drunk people getting ready to hurt one of his friends. And he's drunk because he's half drunk all the time. And
because Angst,
Them to stop. Yeah, he yells at them to stop, and they all turn around, and there he is holding Chris Lenore, this giant, like 5 foot, 3 foot wide sword, and he's holding it up. And they're like, "How are you doing that?" It's like, it's magic.
It's magic.
And that's what sets him on the quest, the fact that he was able to pull the sword from the stone. Your Hot Pocket done? You got to go get that.
No, I have an alarm to feed my dog at this time if my wife's not home, and she's always here, but it always goes off. So
you tell it to go off every day at the same time. I set alarms for our dog here too. Remind me that I put her out on the back porch and it's freezing outside. She got to come back in. So this is the Akara tier right here. This is the book, and you get the PDF of the book. The Jericho tier. This is going to get you the PDF and the variant cover, which is this one.
The Greg Bo Watson cover.
Yeah. And I would bet that's going to be a pinup somewhere down here in the tiers, but I don't know why. It just says, "Hi, I'm a pinup. You're going to want me." And of course, this tier will include all the stretch goals, which we will find out what they are in a moment. Excuse me.
I have interesting stretch goals, I've been told.
Well, let's check them out then. The Bellatier. Now, you got a third cover. I was not aware of that yet. So
I have 5 covers. Like I said, I went big, man. I dove in head first.
Go big or go home, man.
I went big or went home, and I'm not going home. I just went big.
All right. Well, everybody check it out. He's going to be going big. BAP 2, you like to back books. This might be one that's for you. Mike Walters, thank you for stopping by, my friend. Mike's going to be kicking off the mic stand on his channel in about a half an hour here. So when we're done here, everybody pop over. Keely Chow, what's going on? You're pulling a proper raid. You're going to need to bring a lot more people, my friend, because please do raid the channel. We would love that. So the Bellatier is a physical copy of this cover, and wow, it's a bit nipply on this cover.
That's the Courtney Rose cover with coloring by Gwenaëlle Delegault. Oh, I always butcher her name. I feel so bad.
I'm going to say I've seen this on Max DeVille's covers too, because he has like 3 different cover artists who do things, and as much as there are complaints about women in comics and the way their boobs are presented, it's the female artists who do the most graphic boob drawings that exist. I don't know why. I was like, maybe they're just like, yeah, let me show you what they really look like. Draw them on here. The Dust Tier, like the Sanguine Sorcerer himself. Sanguine, okay. That gives us a little insight into his mood. Now this one is very nicely done, nicely colored, lot 3D aspect. This is Mario Barraza again. So the coloring has made his art style look like it's a different artist.
Yeah, that's his variant cover. So I asked him at one point, I want you to do a cover that's 100% you. Like the comic book is all storyboarded by me and drawn by him, and then he changes perspective and stuff like that because I'm no artist. But and then the first cover's storyboarded and designed by me and drawn by him. And I told him I want a variant cover that's like 100% you. And that's his variant cover. I like it. It looks like an 80s action movie poster. It does. It came out really good.
And his coloring on himself, it really adds a level of depth to the image. So yeah, have him color himself some more. Not that the other color is bad. It's just, it makes the picture different. The GODSLAYER tier. Oh, now you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 covers. The 5th one being a blank sketch cover. Is it going to arrive blank, or are you going to have it pre-sketched?
It'll arrive blank. It's my understanding is people like those to take to Comic-Cons and have their favorite artists either do fan art or, I follow artists on Facebook all the time that are always drawing on blank sketch covers too. So
yeah, I've got a Superman #1 or an Action #1. I don't know which one it is. Tucked away. Bought it for my son when he was 12. Blank cover. Artist was there, so he drew like a Superman with like a birthday cake, and it was 12. But the thing is like every interior page was also blank. So it was like you could have your own comic book drawn by different artists. Like,
oh, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, and look at this. You actually went full bore and put a blank cover up your image.
Yep.
That's commitment. All right, stretch goals. 5,000. The chibi stickers. People love the chibi stickers.
And Sammy Kirkendall, who drew those, I love them. They're the I Love Dust stickers.
She's definitely love struck and following her. Does he know, or is he like this completely oblivious to it?
You'd have to read the book.
Oh. 6,000 backers in the stretch goal tiers will get the Authors Gallery PDF. So what is the Authors Gallery? This is your storyboards and such?
That's my storyboards with notes to the artist, and at the end, like it says, it's 116 pages PDF. I want to add more because, like I said, I jumped in head first, and there was a lot I had to learn, and I want to add information in there for other people who are looking to do this if they get that, if we reach that stretch goal, and help them out with information I learned afterwards, because after my launch, I learned a ton of stuff.
That's a healthy sized PDF, so that'd be very cool. This is not finished product, but 7,000. You're going to get a shirt with, this is your concept art, and the actual art's going to be Nathan on top of it. So
it's actually Mario's art. Yeah, that's our third cover that we did. And I had it just inked. And it's a t-shirt. I want to do a t-shirt of it. I mean, even if we don't hit 7,000, I'm getting me one.
There you go. Yeah. TeePublic exists. Just, send the logo and order one. Are you going to have the GODSLAYERS logo on it anywhere so people know what it is when they see it? Or
I wasn't intending to, but I can. I was just going to do just that cover art, and if people wanted it signed, sign it.
No, I mean it doesn't have to be signed. I'm just saying that if you have all these cool characters on your shirt and you pass people and they're like, "Well, that was a cool bunch of people on that guy's shirt there. I wonder what book that is." If it doesn't say GODSLAYER on the back of the shirt or above it somewhere, then they don't know to go look for GODSLAYERS and get the book.
That's actually a good point.
You have a cat.
So that I love that guy. That's from my novel, Crazy Dreams. But that's one of my favorite pictures Mario did. He did the cover art for the novel I'm writing, and my wife bought for me for my birthday. And that's Drakian, and he was a person and is now a cat.
And he's retained his love of good martinis. So that'd be cool. Here is Mario and his cartoon representation of himself. Oh, he's in Mexico City. So
he actually lives in New York now.
Oh,
but I think he was born in Mexico City. So
with crowdfunding, it's so hard to tell because everybody's everywhere now. It's just you're all over the world. You don't have to be working in the same office. DC figured that out. They're like, yeah, you've been sick for 2 years working from home. We're still making books. Stay there. We don't need to pay rent. We'll save some money. Here's Gwen. Yes, you're right. Let's not try to even say it all the way. This is some Celtic stuff here that will just make your tongue tie up in a knot. Or summon a demon.
It's a beautiful name. I wish I knew how to pronounce it properly because I feel bad butchering it every time. But
and then Greg Bo Watson here, who's done the alternate, and Courtney Rose, who's done the alternate. This looks like a self-portrait at some level here now. So yeah, that's it's not a lot of tiers, and you said it was a lot of covers, but really, you got a blank one, so not too terribly many variants. You did have a tier where people could get all 5 of them, and that was only $80, which I think is your highest level tier.
Yep.
So, yeah, you are not shooting for the moon here, Nathan. So.
No, to be honest, man, I mean, I want to sell the book. I want people to read my story, and I want to write another one. So all my art's paid for, all my covers are paid for. I'm just looking to earn enough to pay for the art for the next book, fulfill and send comic books, print. I'm excited about getting a story out there. So
once you're done with this Kickstarter, are you going to do the Indiegogo jump thing? Because that's what a lot of people do.
So I've heard that. I was thinking about trying it. If Kickstarter does well, I may go on Indiegogo because I know there are people who prefer just Indiegogo and don't buy on Kickstarter. So
yeah, there's the political spectrum that splits off. And also, I've heard that like
that's a thing, like a political thing between Indiegogo and Kickstarter.
It is. It really truly is. At one point, Kickstarter kicked off some people who were crowdfunding comics on there because other people complained about their activities on social media and represented them as such. And Kickstarter was like, "Oh, we don't serve your kind of thing." And a lot of fans just said, "Well, we'll just go to Indiegogo," which doesn't seem to have this problem, sir. It's changed. The people who were at Kickstarter are no longer at Kickstarter. but I think that between the two platforms, it's like Kickstarter is where all your bad girl art really sells well, and Indiegogo is where your 90s image comic heroes sell really well. And even as I say that, you have people like, Common America that just go make a fortune on both platforms before they close out. Like, yeah, wow, we do good wherever we go. But the two are made to go together. Really, they even have an interface that exists between the two, so that
wow.
lets you. Yeah, Kara Nicole taught me this because I was asking her, like, how did you go from making $7,000 on Indiegogo last year to $35,000 on Indiegogo this year with your calendar? She does books too, but I was just looking specifically at the calendar. She's like, well, I learned that you can make $35,000 on Kickstarter, and then you can move it over to Indiegogo when it's done, and they will transfer the funds straight from Kickstarter to Indiegogo. You tell it you want a $500 goal, and on second one of day one, boom, it's at $35,000. You're at 19 cajillion % of goal, and the algorithm just loses its mind and says, everybody loves this thing, promote it. So
promotion has been one of the big things I'm out there learning, because I launched my Kickstarter on February 26th, and before that I had the idea, you make a book, you make a Kickstarter, you sell it on Kickstarter.
Yeah. No, you got to plan this thing. You got to go 2 months talking about doing the book, just tweeting about it 5 times a day. Say, hey, we're going to be doing a book. Here's a picture of it. And then you run the Kickstarter preview for a month to collect addresses and tell people about that. And
not me.
No.
I didn't do any of that. Like I said, I went big or went home, and I didn't know that.
You might as well be going door to door knocking and say, I got a book.
Oh, I did that too. I live in Reno, Nevada. I went to comic shops and posted flyers.
That's not bad.
Like I talked to comic shop owners. I've had a couple tell me that they're interested in when I'm closer to print run. So
okay, so that has me asking why you don't have a retailer tier.
Because I didn't know if I needed one for the first Kickstarter.
It doesn't hurt to have one. I mean, if nobody orders from it, you're still selling the books on the others. But it's a thing. It's like a discounted rate if you buy 5 books or you buy 10 books or whatever it is you set it at, of a cover. 5 of this cover, 5 of that cover. For people who want to have crowdfunded books in their stores, and there are a lot of boutique comic stores that like that. Cosmic Comics in Belleville, who we advertised for at the beginning of the show, they have a section in their store that's all crowdfunded stuff that he buys retailer tiers on. And he keeps it behind the counter because he doesn't want anybody thumbing through the crowdfunded stuff that's expensive. If you want this book, ask me. Will, welcome. Glad you're here, sir. We are wrapping up our talk here on GODSLAYERS, which I'm going to point out, I've been saying it correctly, but there is the GODSLAYER, and then suddenly they all become, we're the team, we are the God. Do they ever reference themselves that way? Or
so no, the idea is that the demon has risen up to that potential since the 8 gods were slaughtered by the original GODSLAYER, and that they intend to destroy him.
Okay, so technically, wouldn't they be demon slayers?
Nope, because they don't even really call them demons. They call him a Yama King.
Okay. Plus, I think Demon Slayer's been taken.
I'm pretty sure that actually has been.
Yeah, it's an anime series somewhere out there, I'm sure.
It's a fantastic anime series.
Oh, is it? Okay. See,
yeah.
My anime has a great big hole in it because like my anime start was Speed Racer, Battle of the Planets, Voltron when I was 11. And then there's like nothing. And then in college, I saw 30 minutes of Fist of North Star. And I'm like, well, that's pretty intense. And then another 35 years of nothing until I finally said, okay, I guess I should be a weeb if I'm going to be a comics fan. And I sat down on Netflix and watched Death Note. I was like, this is really good, except it should have ended right here and skipped these last 7 episodes.
I am an avid anime fan. Like, I watch tons of stuff. I'll watch horror anime. I like adventure. I think the only thing I'm not into is mecha anime. I'm not a big robots fan. But I'll watch
And that's what's sold in America a lot.
I'll watch slice of life. I'll watch romance. I'll watch isekai, which is the into another world stuff. I'll watch anything I can get my hands on for the most part.
I've watched Death Note. I've watched Sword Art Online. I enjoyed both of those. Well, I watched the first season of it. Started the second season, stopped to do something else, and never quite got back to it. Apparently, there's a series called Hentai that I'm told I should be watching. I've not found it yet. I'm going to have to do a Google search on that and see what that series is about. So, I guess it's a chicken farmer of some sort who ties hens. We'll find out. I'm kidding. I know what hentai is.
I was about to be like, don't look it up on the internet if you're thinking of chickens, man, because it's not going to be what you think it is.
Oh, and especially don't look up hentai and chickens in the same search.
So some of my favorites are stuff like I love Fate, Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works. I'm a huge fan of Sword Art Online. I really liked That Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime is fantastic.
They have the weirdest, not to them, I'm sure, but maybe it's just translation, but the strangest titles because of like.
I've watched anime where like the whole thing is I think it's called Banto, is the one where the whole story is they go to fight over discount food at the grocery store. Fantastic anime. It was fun.
you show up at the store. Oh, look, bread's half off. Fight.
That's it. I guess a bento or bantos are little pre-made meals. And when they come out and put the stickers on them, everyone's fighting to get the discounted ones. And it was actually a fun anime. I really enjoyed it. So I've watched all kinds of stuff. My wife really likes some of the romantic ones like Fruits Basket and Kame-sama Kiss, and I watch those with her. So
I've heard of those. I read some anime. I read them when they were mangas, I guess. When I lived in North Carolina, many years ago, but not many because I didn't live there long, and it was the only comic shop I'd ever been in at the time that had these. So I was picking up a couple of issues of La Blue Girl.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, and they had a videotape called Keko Kamen. That was weird. Keko Kamen was the heroine of the story, and all she did was protect this young student at a girls' school from all the teachers who wanted to torment her. Nobody knew who Keko Kamen was because she wore this full face mask with like a tie around the neck, and that's all she wore.
If you want to go old school, like Project A-ko was another weird one like that. I did not get the basis of that anime, but it was fun to watch.
I think I heard that one too. Ranma 1/2 was another big one.
Love Ranma 1/2. Seen every episode. Introduced my kids to it. Love that one. That's old school too.
I'm like, this is the boy who can't take a bath. He's gonna stink a lot.
And they used to have a really awesome tradable card game called Animehem that had like Inuyasha characters and Ranma characters and Bubblegum Crisis characters and Dragon Ball Z characters
together.
Yeah, and it was a card game that you played like Magic or one of those games. And I used to collect that one just because I love the anime characters.
Yeah, and plus you get to make them interact with each other in a fashion. So that would be very cool. I know people who are doing this for crowdfunded comics, by the way. Greg Levitt has a card game that he's putting out with his game, and then he's opening it up to all the other players. And I told him that my idea had been for somebody to come up with an engine like that, and then let people like yourself say, hey, I don't want to make a game, but the game exists, the engine exists, the rules for creating a card exist. Here's a tier where if you buy this tier, you get this booster pack for this game that contains my 5 characters with stats that fit into the game. You can slide them into your deck, and they're legal cards. You can surprise people with them, and then not only do you surprise them with them because they don't know who the hell the characters are, but they find out who the hell the characters are and try to find your book.
That's a really cool idea.
A really cool character. What did you do with that? It's a marketing idea, guys. I throw it out there to the world. Let the universe make it happen. Because I'm not a game designer and I'm not going to do it. I'm busy enough shipping all your books, guys. So, so any thoughts about what becomes of this story after it's done? I mean, first of all, how long of the story is it planned to be?
So I thought it was going to be 10 books when I originally pitched it to my artist. I am not so sure it's going to be that short now. And so I'm going to have to, we're going to do 10 books and revisit what's going on with it. So
you're going to be the next One Piece. Okay. I get you.
No, I don't think it'll be that long, but so like I said, it was originally an anime script. And I didn't get as far through that script in the comic layout as I thought I was going to. So,
animes aren't known for their brevity. They tend to go on and on and on.
It depends on the anime, but yeah, that's generally stuff like Naruto Shippuden. Those are the same story thrown out over. I think Naruto is 16 seasons long and hundreds of episodes, and then Shippuden is another 100 some odd episodes. So I know One Piece has been going on forever.
Yeah, and it still hasn't reached the end.
Fairy Tail's another one like that too. I love Fairy Tail.
So any thoughts though as to other medium once the book has reached its end, or even before it's reached its end? I mean, are you visualizing saying, hey, I've got 5-6 issues done, here's a package, send to Netflix?
I think, man, like I jumped into this, like I jumped in so hard that I'm just thinking about trying to do the books right now and worry about other media later. Like for now, I'm just trying to get my head around what I'm doing here. So again, this is my first indie comic, and so I'm learning so much stuff, and I'm lucky. I've had some pretty awesome support from some friends and Facebook mentors, I would say. And then sure. I have an amazing artist. Mario's fantastic. I love working with him. And it's my first experience has been so positive. I'm just having a blast. And I just want to see where this goes before I worry about where I'm going next. I just know that I'm getting ready to do episode 2.
Okay, so you've got episode 1's all written. It's all in.
All the art's paid for, all the covers are paid for, everything's done. I'm looking to crowdfund. The money from my crowdfunding is going to support printing, fulfillment, and paying my artists for episode 2. And I'm a huge supporter of artists. Like I pay artists all the time, way more money than I probably should to do work for me. If I see someone's art and I like it, I'm on there commissioning artwork. Like I wish I could show you around my living room. I have 5 pieces just done from Mario before we even started doing the comic book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when you say it's paid for, is that the same thing as saying it's done?
So we're doing final edits. I think we have final edits on 1 more page.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's pretty much done.
How big is this book?
24 pages.
24 pages. Okay.
Yes.
So with everything done except for that final page, your delivery date is August of this year.
I'm hoping to get it done way before then. But at the time when I was getting ready to launch it, they were talking about delays and paper shortages and shipping issues. And being as I'm brand new, I wanted to make sure that everyone knew that I'm going to get it to you as fast as I can, but these are the things I'm hearing about that I'm concerned about, and I don't want to let you guys down. So I'm going to get it to you as fast as possible, but these are concerns I have, which is why it's in my list and stuff.
I finally figured out this paper shortage thing because I'm like, the trees didn't get sick. I'll make him lose his Coke right there. But I guess a lot of the pulp plants just couldn't. A lot of the small businesses cannot stay closed for a month and come back and recover from it all. So,
well, and it was longer than a month that they were closed up. So
exactly. So a good portion of the paper producing plants don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So if you've got seed money and you want to get in on a good business, get out there and just make paper. We bought it all up in the form of toilet paper right before the pandemic. That's why
unfortunately I've been sinking. Well, actually, fortunately, because I'm enjoying it, but I'm sinking my seed money into comic books. So,
well, yeah. I mean, if you got the talent to do that, I sunk all mine into empty boxes. It's working though. All right. Well, Gage, Nathan, I wish you the best of luck with this. I think you got a good-looking product here. It's a very good-looking book art-wise. I don't recall what we were at the beginning. Please don't tell me it was 1976 because I'd like to think that something happened during the show, but probably not. Because that's the kind of show we are. We're the least watched show of all the series out there, and we're at 1,400 episodes. We're here every night, just pedaling along, doing this every single night of the week. So, folks,
you gotta hustle.
Yeah, make me look good, guys. Come on, I'm trying to. I don't make any money on these YouTube things. Yes, I'm monetized. I'm monetized, and I don't make any money. That tells you where we're at. So I don't live off your super chats. I don't live off your ad money.
Well, thank you for having me on, then.
Oh. I'll have anybody on, man. Don't take that the wrong way, but I mean, we're open. We're always open. But I do this so that I can say this. Click the link below the video. Get out there and support these books. Support this book if you're watching this on the replay. If you're able to view the chat going again, it's still pinned to the top of the chat. You can get it right there. It's on Kickstarter for the next 23 days. $80 is the highest tier, and for that you're going to get 5 alternate covers of the book, one of them being a sketch cover, so you can have your favorite artist or yourself do a sketch of the characters. The rest of the tiers are very reasonably priced because it's like this book, or that book. Do you have add-ons built onto this? I mean, if somebody says, I want this book and I want this book at the end of it, they can.
I do, yes. I have that on there also. If someone didn't want to do $80, but they wanted 2 covers, it's on there.
Thank you, Brenda. Is she related to you?
That's my wife.
she's gonna share it out there. Well, everybody, please do share it out there. Not for me. I mean, I don't do the whole like and share. I will say, do share because that puts Nathan in front of more eyeballs. Because your friends are different than my friends, and that's how this whole social media ripple effect works. So share the video out there. Let other people see Nathan's work on GODSLAYERS here. And hopefully, they will like it enough that they'll click the link at the bottom of the video, first line of the description, and throw money. That's the whole point. It's getting people to throw money. Other than that, did they kill Yahweh? Not in this book, but you might want to check out Greg Morrow's Towing Jehovah, because they did kill Yahweh in that one. His 2-mile-long corpse was found in the ocean, and his skull is orbiting the world as a second moon. But that's an entirely other book. And that should be a graphic novel, because that would be great. But it wasn't. At any rate, Gage, thank you so much for bringing GODSLAYERS onto our channel tonight, and making it available for our viewers. Is there anything about the book that I didn't ask that you want to just burst out and tell people, like how it ends or something?
No, I don't want to tell people how it ends. So Waking the GODSLAYERS, part 1 of the Waking the GODSLAYER story. So episode 1 and episode 2 go kind of hand in hand. I think that's really the only thing.
Okay. How many books are you going to do before you make
like I said, I talked to my artist originally about doing 10. So at 10, he and I are going to have to talk. And okay. I don't know if I don't know if he'll want to do more after 10, but if he does, I'll want to do more if that's how long it takes to tell the story. So
yeah, but I mean, at some point though, even with a 10-issue arc, a lot of people will say, okay, we've done the first 3, and that's sort of like a mini arc. That's a chapter. So rather than when book 4 comes out, rather than saying the catch-up tier is, hey, you can get 1, 2, and 3 here, they say, no, we've sold out 1, 2, and 3, but you can get the trade paperback that collects 1, 2, and 3 as a backup, as a catch-up with getting 4. So have you thought about where a good break point is to do that kind of thing?
I haven't yet. So with episode 1, I'm printing comics whether it funds or not, because I'm gonna have them. And so and I'm doing episode 2 whether it funds or not. And so what I can afford to print is what I'm gonna have for episode 1. And if they're offered, they'll be offered as a limited run.
All right. Well, if if you don't fund on Kickstarter, because Kickstarter is all or nothing, man. It works that way. Indiegogo has that whole, hey, it's flex goal. I want this, but if I don't get it, I'm still making it. So you still get to fulfill on that.
I am going to check it out. I've been looking into it, but I didn't want to run 2 at once because I'm promoting.
I don't think you can do that.
I'm promoting the Kickstarter, and I don't know if you can do that. I had not hit that point yet.
Yeah.
But
I don't think you can.
I'm eaten alive by promoting this thing. I work a day job. I'm working on final edits and getting the pages ready for printing, and promote. So.
Got to be out there every night. Always be selling. Always be closing is what it's supposed to be, but you're not closing. You're selling right now. Anyway, folks in the chat, thank you so much for being here tonight. As I always say, we don't have a show if you're not here watching it. We're the tree falling in the woods. So we're always grateful that you show up and watch. And as always, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night, everybody.